Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B. Yes, I'm Al Fresco, and yes, I am smoking Jeremy B today. Good to see you, Will Vogues. BCP's in the house. How's everybody doing? We already got a like from Ricky Sakat. He'll be commenting soon, yes. Going live into Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and the Huddle Sports app. No, not today. I got this. JB, no music, no side music today because I couldn't move the soundboards in time. So we don't have that music today. But we do have this one. Let's get there.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
I didn't see the controversial schedule release. No, I didn't get to watch it. What's up, Joseph? Favorite non-conference opponent on the Lions schedule? Yeah, no. Well, let's take a look at that schedule. Oh, with the Colts? No, I didn't get to see that one. Weeks 1 through 5. Green Bay, Chicago, Baltimore, Browns, and Bengals. It's a rough schedule. At Baltimore, but at home versus these, at home, it gets broke up a little bit every other week there. I like that. I think we still maintain this, and they're praying for a win. Nice. So they had a dolphin swimming in the ocean wearing a Tyreek Hill jersey, and the Coast Guard pulled over the dolphin and arrested it. Oh my God, that's great. Oh, that's funny. The team that might has the choice between Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones as a starting quarterback is hilarious. Oh, that's because he's softer than Sharman. But week 1, I say we dominate there, maintaining the ownership of Lambeau. And then we make them pray to win in Detroit. At Baltimore scares me. But we can run with them as long as we're healthy. I love what happened when Johnny Morton got in the building. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Jameson Williams was in the facility when he got there, and he approached him and he asked about different ways he can be injected into the playbook better. Not to pad his stats, to better the team. And his work ethic has been amazing, according to Scotty Montgomery. So I'm looking forward to that. Nobody can be funny anymore. That's why this world is so full of hate. If you're funny, you're offensive anymore. Soft ass world. Yes. So I got to ask, if you're an electrician and you have a kid and they do something bad, do you ground them? Is an orphan allowed to eat at a family restaurant? I'll ask the tough questions. Good to see you, King SJ. How are things in Canada? Yes, the grounding could be a shock. Nice comeback. I love it. But let's go on to the next 5 weeks of the schedule. At KC versus Tampa Bay. Then the bye week in week 8. I love having the week 8 bye. Unfortunately, for a couple of teams, they have the week 5 bye, and we all know how that works. That works out so good when you got dealing with stuff. It is a beautiful day. I've been doing some landscaping with my mom earlier. Smoking Mom was in the area, but she left as soon as it was time to go live. But then we got Minnesota at home in week 9, and then at Washington. Then we're at Philly, then home versus New York, then home versus Green Bay, home versus Dallas, a 3-game stretch. Right through that tough part, and look what's sandwiched in the middle. Yes, isn't it great? The more stable weather. It's supposed to be 80 here shortly. I'm in shorts and my Dan Campbell shirt. If you spin an Asian man around, does he become disoriented? So, do you know why you can't fart her? I'm going to be bad here. No, I can't do that one. That one's a little bit too bad. Hate back-to-back Washington then Philly. We are really going to see what this team is made of this year. They have no mercy on our schedule. But at the same time, I kind of like how it went there in that stretch, but I don't. I don't like the back-to-back of Washington and Philly because those were 2 powerhouse teams last year. And then we rounded off with home versus Pittsburgh and then 2 games away at Minnesota and at Chicago for week 18. Both of these are to be determined because they may have division implications there. Text it to me, whatever Bandit joke. I'm wondering. I will right after the show, brother. You're fine. Why can't you cut the cheese around the Jewish? Because they're still afraid of gas. There, I said it. Yes, sir. I wish I could do something cool for you. Let's see what I got. Oh, that ain't it. Nope. There we go. Yeah. We're rocking out today, boys. Oh, man. I can't wait for the actual camps to start when everybody's there. Is that this week or no? This week is their week off because they skipped this one. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. If you haven't said already, what are your early projections? I'm saying 10 to 13. There's an outside shot we get to 13, but I think 10 is the bottom. I said that immediately when they did the home and away schedule thing before they even announced the order. And I'm more leaning towards the 11 or 12 win range, 11 or 12, but I think it's 10 to 13. But at the same time, I think the Packers have the same chance. They got a brutal schedule too. But next week it'll be AFC NFC South review on Wednesday night. Will be able to get into his Pampers a little better, squish that shit around. Yes, let's fucking go. I think it's going to be a little bit of a step back with the tougher schedule. I do. I think our minimum amount of wins will be 10, and I think at most 13, and I think it's the same for the Packers. Yeah, because this is the last year of the Javi Baez contract. I think the Bears will be a little tougher. I do too. I think everybody in the division is going to split with themselves, whether it's home or away. I think that's what's going to go down. Yeah, because I don't know what JJ's decision making will be. Will it be as good as he was versus the bad teams, or will it be like it was when he was versus the good teams? He didn't have a good game versus the good teams till the national championship game, and it is what it is. We trounced them. Absolutely, he is a huge unknown, and I'm not saying he'll be bad. But Ricky, I'm right. When we got to the meat of the Big Ten schedule, they had to start hiding JJ's deficiencies and running the ball more to win because he wasn't making good decisions. He was starting to get his interceptions went up and everything else. How do you do these lives during the yeah, basically I am. I love doing the lives 5 days a week. I do. It's a release for me. JJ never had to throw the ball, had the best O-line his whole 3 years, and Blake Corum, I don't care what anybody says, best running back in the entire country then. Yes, it's a kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. Go Pack, go. Give me a follow, give me a subscribe, and I'll sub to you. That's how we do. That's how we grow in this thing. And then we can do some collabs together prior to the games and stuff like that. Didn't Michigan O-line win the Joe Moore Award 3 straight times? Yes. What is my username? My username is the same as my title on YouTube. It's kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. Here, I'll get you the link. Just a second. I will hook that up for you, brother. It's still loading. Cool. As soon as I get done with the show, I'll subscribe to you. But for anybody that hasn't subscribed, there's the link right there. I put it into everything that'll allow me to do it. You know, there's so many things you could do. As you can see by my intro that I did here, that was done by Bill the Packer fan, who's working on my new one. Nice. You could say anything you want, really. But when people say that the Lions can't do it, I don't know. I just don't see. We haven't lost more than 4 games in a row since 2022. And somebody says I could see the Lions going 0-5 to start the season, and I knew what you meant. They're the beats to the Packers. I get it. They're what, 1-20 now in the last 20 games? Yeah, you did. You know what? If you're available tomorrow, I'll get you a link. Go on one of the community posts and give me your email. What up? Hey, I'm actually smoking Jeremy B. I'm outside and enjoying the fresh air. Been working on the landscaping. $54 going to be about to be 55 this year. I know Motown, you're that same age. You said you're 56. So you were either born at 69 or 68. I was born at 70. Just depends on if you have a birthday coming up or you already had it. Let me look at that schedule again. I got to look at that. Do we play on my birthday? No. October 9th, brother. Right here. My son will be 18, October 25th. My little brother was born October 7th. '23rd, right around my son Tristan's birthday. That's awesome. Scorpio guy. Right on the cusp, I believe. That explains it. October babies everywhere. My oldest would have been 35. Back on April 29th. I once dated a girl who her birthday was the day after mine on the 10th, and we used to make it a weekend. That was fun. But go Pat, go. If you ever want to do a deep dive and talk football, I'll talk football with you right here on this show if you got the time one time. Because when I talk football, I talk facts. I don't talk the bullshit. I don't get into anybody that's actually wanted to sit down and talk football. I love talking football. It's either going to be Tim Patrick or Isaac Tesla at that point, unless Tesla has proven he's better than a couple other people and we're moving people around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 29-15. We're starting out the year the way we finished it. Let's hope we finish the year the same way as we did last year. Were we 29-12 to finish the season last year after the All-Star break? No, I loved it. If you'd have been watching when we were live, I loved the Isaac Tesla pick. He was one of the 3 wide receivers I really wanted. I said there was 3 big wide. I do it every year. I've done it every year since Brad's been here because we didn't have a big, tall, quick receiver. They don't necessarily have to be fast, and Tesla is fast. He doesn't have that great first step yet, but that's something he can build upon with his route running and how he uses his hands at the line. But I've been crying for a 6'3" or taller wide receiver. And we finally did it in the 5th year of Brad's draft. Because I seriously think a tall contested catch wide receiver is the only thing a young one was the only thing this roster was missing as far as an offensive weapon. And he foots that bill. And a 4.2% drop rate in college. That don't hurt. Proving how good his hands is. And let's tell you how good that was. That's 1% better than what Amon-Ra St. Brown had in college. Harold Carmichael. Yes, that's the tallest wide receiver in NFL history at 6'8", I believe he was 6'7" and 5/8", but they listed him at 6'8". Joseph Austin, I gotta get you my address. Hey, look, that's 3 of the 4 digits right there. The top one's a 1. And I'm gonna do it this way so we can do it right. Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. No echo today, guys. No soundboard. Yep, they just pulled up. Man, just so too nice to be indoors. Too nice to be indoors. It really is. Bottom Line Sports. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for popping in. We appreciate you. Let's open it up. You want to hop on? There you go. Because the news is slower than molasses through through a straw in the middle of January between the witches' tits. Yes. Getting a little cloud here, but I don't mind cloud. Cool. Be good to see you. We got 52 people watching, only 3 likes on that. Yes, Dwayne, it is great. But I think we're going to have to host some watch parties this year for the home games and the away games. I don't care. I got a couple of bars that said they'd be interested in letting us do it. Promotes them, promotes me. It's a big, big step. That's a good question because they're still talking. That's all I know is they've still been in talks. Yep, I guess that's got to stay over here. My signal got bad. Hey, Dan, you remember when my shows used to always be like this, outside on the porch? Back to the roots. And you never know, they might be okay with what we got in the edge room right now. I think if anything's going to happen, it's going to be closer to training camp at this point. Let's see if we got any new news today. Nope, nothing since the schedule release, as I thought. So we play the Cincinnati Bengals on the 5th and KC on the 12th. So that's our stretch of games around my birthday. And we play on the 20th at Tampa Bay, and then we got the bye week. So that's the last one around your guys' birthday, Ricky Sakat and Motown Mitch. At Green Bay, at home for Chicago, at Baltimore, home for Cleveland, at Cincinnati, at KC, then home for Tampa Bay. But it's from Sunday night football to Monday night football. And then we got the bye week, and we don't play again until Minnesota on the 2nd. Then the 9th, we play at Washington, and then it's Sunday night football at Philly, then home for New York, then Thanksgiving on the short week. And then we got that nice long break to the 4th for a week later on Thursday night football. And then we don't play again. We don't have another 10-day break, so that's like a mini bye right there between the Dallas game and at LA. Then it's Pittsburgh, at Minnesota, and at Chicago. But we play on Christmas Day and then don't play again to the 4th. So there's only a 4-day break between Pittsburgh and at Mini, which means a walkthrough, 1 day of full pad practice, and then ready to go. That might be a tough game at Minnesota. Because of the short rest. Got bees flying around out here. Great. It's the only thing I don't like about the weather is when the bees come around. Yes, Minnescrotum. Skull. It's like saying score, but with a cock in your mouth. I'm probably the crudest guy on YouTube when I talk about the other teams that way. I got to pop in for a minute this morning with Kitty Ken. He was our host on the huddle today for Ken and Ken in the morning. It was Ken and JB. America. All right. We got a Mr. Will Vogel sitting up straight and at a desk.
Yeah, it's my parents' desk. They're out.
Good to see you, brother.
Likewise.
So if you're looking at your schedule, how many wins do you expect for the Pampers?
I still haven't dissected it fully, but I would say maybe between 8 and 10.
Good luck with that. You got some tough opponents there.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm maybe between 7 and 9. I don't know. I'm
I think
definitely
the floor is 7. I think you're better than last year.
Mhm.
And I think the ceiling is 10.
So I wanted to ask you, and then I'll give my opinion on the Panthers. What's the weirdest game on the schedule where you're like, that's a weird time and a weird matchup?
Well, it's just like I was saying, we play Pittsburgh on the 21st, on December 21st. And then 3 days later, we're playing on, or 4 days later, we're playing on Christmas. So,
Yeah, the one
you know,
that go ahead.
those type of scheduling, when you got that short window, like between Sunday and Thursday night, those ones are the tough games. They always are.
The one that scratches my head, I'm not saying it just I don't remember when we played them last, but I think it's either Sunday night or Monday Night Football against the 49ers. I'm like, why?
And
Like I get it. The
is it
Christian
in?
McCaffrey trade, maybe they
Is
did it
it
because
is it in San Francisco?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one though.
Oh yeah, no, I don't expect us to win. Nope. Yeah, I'll probably dissect it further sooner or later.
Yeah. So, well, next week is AFC and NFC South, so you better
Oh,
dissect it
okay.
soon.
I'll probably just look at websites, what they think, and then just narrow it down to mine.
Because we always do it early, like before camps, and then we do like a mini one where we kind of just go over the whole thing just before the season starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this year I want to really tally how I do overall, like you do every year.
Yeah, last year wasn't my best year, but it wasn't my worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah. When do you think they'll announce what the teams are wearing for the Hall of Fame game? Like July?
Well, the rumor is they're trying to get it set already, but it probably won't be done till like the end of June, mid-July. That area is when they'll actually announce what colors they're wearing for the Hall of Fame game. And I'm hoping they let them both do the home alternates and do the blacks for the Lions and the powder blues for the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Panthers eventually get a silver jersey.
Motown Mitch, I'll tell you what, last year before the season, I did say 10-13 for the Lions, and I said there's a chance we'd go 15-2.
He did. I think the Lions get 12.
That's where everybody seems to be, like 11 or 12. He says 13, and I said there's an outside shot at 13. Because I do think it's a tougher schedule than last year.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
And it seems funny on the year that Kansas City would have had to come here to play because we had a first place finish. They didn't get to play us. This year they're playing us. All right. For the first time on Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, we got Flores. What's up, Flo?
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you. So how you liking the Dallas schedule?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I can't complain, I guess. Might be setting up pretty good for us in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like it.
Good.
I think we'll be healthy now.
Let everybody know where you're from. I know it's Bottom Line Sports, but let them know how to find you and everything else real quick. That way you're plugging your channel.
Sure. You can hear me okay?
Yeah. Sound perfect.
All right. Yeah. So the Bottom Line Sports is where I'm from, and you can find us on YouTube, Facebook. We got a pretty good following, about 1,900, and yeah, go check us out. I'm here deployed right now, so the other guys are kind of keeping it running. But you can come trash talk on our Facebook, Come watch us. Jake, Omar, and Canteen. Those are my guys. And Jake has his own podcast now, the Final Say he does on the side. And then, of course, Omar has always had his Ball and Buds. But, yeah, The Bottom Line Sports, that's us. And go check us out.
Cool.
Yeah.
As you can see, I've lived true to my name at Smoking Jeremy B.
For sure, smoking. I hadn't seen you smoke before.
I used to all the time because all my shows were done on my porch when I first started because I didn't have a set spot. And I used to do this all the time.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just here in my little tent. Well,
I see that.
It's actually a big tent. It's actually a pretty big tent, but
yeah, it looks like a GP medium.
no, it's a big one. It's a huge one.
Oh, you got the large? Okay.
Yeah, this one's huge. This one's a multi-purpose. We got the medics back there and our chapel. Our chapel's right up here.
But I'm still growing. But I remember when I talked to you prior to the season last year, and you asked me what I thought the Lions would do.
Right.
I remember I said 10 to 13 with an outside shot at 15 games, and you're like, boy, that's a tall ask. What happened?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what did I tell you about Jared Goff, though? I told you he had an expiration date.
No, I know he's got
happened in the playoffs.
He still has an expiration date, and I don't think it's the playoffs. I think it's after the season. This is the put up or shut up year.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah, this is it.
That contract makes it look exactly like that too.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we open up the season. Of course, you got to get ratings with the Cowboys.
Yeah, we'll get it.
You get Eagles and the Cowboys open up the season. Very first game of the year. So
it's gonna be ring night for Philly, so everything's gonna be amped up.
Oh yeah, and
Joey there is a big Eagles fan. He's been on my show before.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yep.
You ready? All right. I hope you're ready. No,
yeah,
I mean,
he didn't like getting that news from me about their Jihad Campbell's going to miss most of the season after that torn labrum surgery repair.
That's what happened to probably both our teams. I mean, we both got decimated with the injuries.
Yep.
You more so on the defense. I mean, your offense was more intact than we were, but yeah, we got decimated on defense, and it's couldn't make things happen. And of course, you lose your starting quarterback, man. You can't do much without your starting quarterback unless you got a really, really good backup.
It's been on NFL.com. The Jihad Campbell labrum surgery.
Oh, really?
He's due back in December. He had it back in March. That's why he didn't do his pro day. And that's also why they're saying the rehab time, the earliest he'll return is just before Christmas.
Okay.
Who does he play for?
The Eagles. That's who drafted him. Their first round pick.
I'm interested to see how Javonte Williams fits in for Dallas.
Yes. I think he's going to be better than AP or Zeke on accident.
And better than Mighty Mouse himself, Mr. Deuce Vaughn.
Well, I heard we're going after either Chubb or Pacheco.
Oof.
Yeah, that's why he fell as late as it was, because Jihad, originally, if he'd have been healthy at the time of the draft, he probably would have been picked somewhere between 10 and 18.
Flo, I think you guys should pass on, what's it called?
Jim even was nice to you. Why'd you have to go there?
Chubb is great, don't get me wrong, but he is not healing as great.
Yeah, but usually when you come off one of those injuries, you need another year to heal. So this will be the year that will show if he's any good. And we don't need him to be the bell cow. We just need a guy in there to switch out. We'll probably play 2 or 3 backs, and Chubb will be one of those guys. If he ends up.
So you did get Chubb?
No, he said he would like Chubb.
That's what they're talking about, possibly getting Chubb come in.
Yeah, it's you and the Bears that I've heard the most for him.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, even if we don't, I think we're pretty solid. We got that. What was that kid's name?
You have Miles Sanders, who I didn't like in Carolina. It's because our O-line stunk, but I just didn't like him.
Well, I thought that big kid from Clemson. He's a big back.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy that changes up. Blue is kind of a guy who just can break one anytime.
Flow.
So
And I'm going to push back because we always have 4 backs that touch the ball in a game, anyways, because
Right.
of people getting tired and stuff like that. You got to
Right.
have those guys to be able to fill in that spot when guys get tired. Because if you let guys play tired,
Right.
that's when injuries happen.
Plus,
And
you
that's
don't have those bell cow, running backs anymore that can run it
No,
20, 30,
No.
30 times a game anymore.
Jonathan
just-
Brooks isn't going to be ready for us this year.
Oh yeah.
He's labeled
Yeah, he
out
got-
fully.
he got shut down. What was it? Week 16 was it last year when he got hurt?
Yeah, and he's not coming back this year.
If he
Flo,
does, it'll be late in the season.
yeah, Flo. I'm a Clemson fan. If you
Okay.
haven't watched film on Maffa, when you can, watch it. He is a workhorse.
Yeah. I'm glad we got him. I saw a little bit of tape on him, man. I didn't know a lot
He's-
about him until we took
He's
him
a he's a big boy who loves to run.
Yeah, he looks like he's got good
One of
size.
them. I'm not gonna lie. I do think the Lions running back room is one of the best in the league. As a duo for starting, Monty and Gibbs have been explosive.
Because Gibbs can catch and run. Gibbs
No.
can play anywhere.
Don't downplay Monty catching
Oh, I
in the
don't.
receiving game too. So but he doesn't have that explosive, elusive top speed like Gibbs does. That's the difference.
And I think Jaden Blue could be that for us. Get that,
Blue.
that breakaway speed. From
Trying to
Texas
think of
that we
who
drafted.
else has good running back tandems.
Eric Whitson in the chat.
What do you think, JB, about us getting Pickens? I think that's a big move.
As long as he doesn't stay the diva attitude he had with the Steelers, if that can get fixed. Sorry, that was a yellow jacket. Right up in my
Well, you
face.
figure he's in a contract year, so he's got to be pretty much a good boy, trying to
Yeah,
be as good as he can.
Right. He's going to try to get that second contract.
Right.
But at the same time, we've all seen this where the good wide receiver that had issues leaves the Steelers and then they fall off a little bit too. So there's a
Right.
history of that. And that's all I'm worried about is that maybe this first year it'll be okay,
Right.
better than last season, but not
Right.
as great as
Well-
he was his rookie year before he got his attitude.
The
Do
good
you
thing
see
is
what
he
I'm
doesn't
getting
have to be the guy. Yeah, he doesn't have to be the guy. He's like a
But
1B behind CD. I mean, he doesn't
My
have to be
thing
number
is
one guy.
he has that same attitude that CD has when he doesn't get the ball.
We'll
And
see.
that's what's been the issue.
Well, I mean, you've got another. He's never had a guy like CD line up on the other side either.
JB, I want to ask you a question before the show ends. The Panthers just recently cut ties with Clowney because he's older.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
He's
think,
older, injured a lot, hasn't had a
Do you
great
think
season in a few
someone
years.
signs him to a 1-year vet deal?
He might get picked up. Brent, good to see you, brother. Sorry, I'm dealing with a yellow jacket right now, so it was like he kept coming back.
Yeah,
But,
I think Clowney gets a 1-year deal somewhere.
Yeah, he's a
think
rental
so, too.
player anymore. That's all he is.
I mean,
And
Washington
if he-
could use him. They need some help on the D line.
Yeah, if he wouldn't get in my face, I wouldn't mess with him, Joey. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to get him away from me. They're needed. Without bees, this planet would dry up.
Yep, that's for sure. It wouldn't hurt you to kill one.
Yeah, if he gets close enough, I might. But that one
What do
was
you
the
think
yellow jack.
What do you think about the Lions schedule?
I think it's brutal in a couple of spots. We have a couple 2 to 3 week spots. I
Right.
got it right here where you can see it. I can put it on the screen.
Yeah,
Uh, I got them in 5-week intervals, so I got four screens for it.
oh, okay.
Here's the first 5 weeks. We got Green Bay, at home for Chicago, at Baltimore is going to be a tough game. Cleveland has a great defense, but we're at home, and their offense, we all know how bad that is. And
Right.
the Bengals have an offense and no defense. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm at that. I don't know in that first spot. I think we could end
Well,
up 3-2 or 4-1, or we could actually end up being 2-3.
Yeah, well, according to the strength of schedule, you guys are like third strongest
Yeah,
strength of
third.
schedule.
third
I'll
strength of
ask you a
schedule.
question when you're done with the schedule,
Yep.
JB.
But then the next 5 weeks it starts off rough with being at KC and then home, but we got the bye week in week 8 instead of week 5. The Packers and I believe, is it the Bears or the Vikings got it week 5? I think it's Packers and Bears. Packers and Bears week 5 have the bye week, and they know
Washington
then
going to be a tough out.
Yep, and then right after Washington, this is where I meant where it gets tough, right there in the middle. You got at Philly, then New York, then Thanksgiving for Green Bay. Then you guys come in for Thursday night football the following week. So that's 3 games in 11 days, but they're all at home. And I think that's why they did it that way. Because they were so close together, they couldn't have travel time in there too.
Right.
Then it's off to LA, which is another tough game always. Then we got home for Pittsburgh, and then on the road the last 2 games of the year.
And if Chicago is as improved as people think, that might be a tough game. That Chicago game, they might be playing for a playoff spot.
Yep, and then that's the other thing is a few weeks.
All these teams probably might be playing for a playoff spot. So
right. These last 2 are to be determined. They're not set because they could be flexed.
Right,
because
but
if they have any type of divisional playoff implications, they'll probably get flexed to Sunday afternoon or Sunday night or Monday night football in week 17. And other people said, oh, we could end up playing Chicago on Monday night football. I said, no, because they don't do Monday night football in week 18.
Nope.
Yep.
People forget that. Jeremy, do you think someone signs or trades for Trey Hendrickson?
I think if anything happens with the trade with Trey Hendrickson, it's going to be closer to the trade deadline because of the amount of money he wants, and teams will have to know they can pay him because the asking price that he gave the Bengals was $40 million a year average.
I wonder who the dark horses are, the people who were favored to sign him.
And it was funny. I seen a beat writer, and he just looked at how when they do Sport Track and all those other cap sites, you have the initial cap value of what you have left, and they all say, "Oh, the Lions have 40 million," but they don't look at the net after the dead cap.
Right.
We only have 23 million after dead cap. So that means you got your 15 to 18 million for your rookies, which means you might have 8 or 5 million left after that. I don't see Hendrickson as a guy we can afford at that price.
How many rookies have signed with the Lions, JB? How many are signed up already?
I don't know yet. I got to look into that because I've been focusing more on the schedule this week.
I know the Panthers signed Tat for a 4-year deal.
Yep.
They could, Joseph.
Yeah, I agree they could be, but at the same time, they could be just above 500 too because of this schedule. And the Vikings have a second place schedule, which is a tougher schedule than some of the other teams too. But the Bears have a 4th place schedule. So they're outside the division. Could be really easy for them as long as they're not finding new and interesting ways to lose like they did last year.
Yeah.
Right.
The kneecap is biting. Yes, sir. Thank you, Go Pack Go.
Go. Oh, man.
Well, it's that time of the day where I get to have a little fun flow. I have fake sponsors I do at the end of the day. Hey, Smoking Dad has entered the chat. How you doing, Dad?
Do you want me to make the noise to close enough?
No, it's okay.
Oh. Sorry, Smoking Dad, I tried.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. I like being outside. This is the way I used to do my shows when I first started 3 years ago, is I would actually just sit on my porch, smoke cigarettes, and have fun with it. So
was I ever on one of those shows? I'm trying to.
No, that was before you knew me. I think since you knew me, I've always had some type of setting where I've had something hanging behind me.
Yep.
But we're going to start at the bottom of the division from last year, and it's, hey, Flo, take a look at that on the screen. It's fuck the Bears.
Wow.
Then in 3rd place, we had FTP, fuck the Packers.
Wow.
Yep.
And then in week 18, the Vikings got skull fucked.
I like the other one with the
I
Vikings.
know you do. So yeah, I actually do a little meme of it up on the screen of my fake sponsors. It's cute.
Your fake sponsors.
Yeah.
Like I'm frozen.
JB, now you make me want to do F the fail cans. Sucks to be the Bucks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I've
think
called
fake sponsors.
Detroit Dom and I have called the Falcons the fail cants forever.
The Falcons.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for hopping on. Thank you for your insight on the Cowboys roster and what your thoughts about the schedule. And I know you got a couple tough spots too. And I know you look at them, you go, "Damn, I don't like those ones back to back."
Right. Yeah, there's
But
a
you
few.
know, every team has those back to backs. You know, Washington and Philly was a tough out for any team.
Oh,
He just dropped his signal.
he just magically disappeared.
There we go.
Oh,
I seen your signal just
magically.
drop out on us. So I'm like, oh, I know that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there's a couple of tough spots, and then basically the whole NFC East has the top. All of our strength of schedule, we're on the top 6 or 7, I think.
Right, because of who you guys play outside the conference, you know, because you guys
Right.
play us. And then who's your other one? Who's your AFC opponent for where you play the entire division? Is it the
West?
North? Oh, the
Wherever
West?
the Chiefs are. Wherever the Chiefs
Yeah.
are.
So
West.
the two toughest divisions in the AFC is the West and North. So you got,
Right.
you know, it's not like you got slouches that you're going to be facing. Will
Right.
Bo
It
Nix
just
have us
landed that way, but
right?
yeah. So it just is what it is. So we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be easy for any of us. I think we're going to be beating up on each other too. I think even the Giants are a potential playoff team. I think they'll be improved.
They really improved their roster. The question mark is their O line's improved enough and they can protect those quarterbacks.
Right.
Because they got Russell Wilson, who's still good. We saw what he did with Pittsburgh last year. He just failed in the playoffs again.
Right.
And then you have Jameis Winston, who in short spots can be good, but you don't want to trust him as a year-long starter.
30 for 30.
Right. And plus, Pittsburgh spends all their money on defense. They don't really spend their money on offense. You know, they put all their effort into the defense.
And in the NFC, I think the two best divisions are the East and the North.
Right.
Top to bottom. When you add up all the teams and what they can do, they're the two toughest. I think we're the two toughest divisions in the NFC right now.
Right. And it all depends what JJ can do, JJ McCarthy.
JJ's the question mark for the Vikings.
Right.
They got a great
He could come
defense.
out and do well, or he could come out and just kind of fall on his face a little bit.
Well, if you look at the middle
year.
If you look at the middle of his last year at Michigan, it kind of was a tale of two JJs, if you remember right. They basically had to hide him behind the running game once we got to the meat of the schedule because he started making more mistakes against the tougher defenses. And that's
right. But maybe this year of just kind of watching and not being able to play maybe helped him. It's possible it could have helped him.
If he'd have been able to practice more, it would have helped him more.
Yeah, probably. But he's got a full off season at least.
I disagree. I think that the East is better than the West just because every team improved. And the fall off in San Francisco, holy shit. You know, they became the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They might lose to the Cardinals.
Right. I mean, the Cardinals got better this year too, and they were better last year.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for watching. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Thank you, Flo, for jumping in. It was good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Will, you know what? I always like having you on. Have a great day.
All right. Have a great night. It's 7 over here. 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Turn it up. We coming in hot. Huddle Sports Network. Yeah, we own the spot. On your Roku, Fire Stick, don't miss a beat. Covering NFL news, we can't be beat. Find us online, Facebook and YouTube too. Every room a scoop. We got the 411 for you. 27 prime times. Daily shows for the fiends. From Ken in the morning to your wildest dreams. 10 to 11, we dropping knowledge on the block. Tune in tight, don't forget to watch. Huddle up is the place to be. NFL action, come and see. From morning till noon, we bring that fire. Huddle Sports Network, take you higher. Step it to the zone where the real ones play. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, 1 hour every day. From 11 to 12, we breaking it down. All the plays, all the stats, wearing the crown. Then at noon, in the grind with the daily huddle. From 12 to 1 p.m., man, we break the cuddle. Sipping morning coffee while we hitting the grind. Dropping knowledge bombs, yeah, you know we're one of a kind. Huddle up, it's the place to be. NFL action, come and see. From morning till noon, we bring the fire. Huddle Sports Network, take you higher. Got the insights, got the stats, we breaking it down. Best network around, wearing the crown. From the field to the screen, we making it hot. Huddle Sports Network, give it up.